So while the Formula 3 class is out and doing their practice and qualifying, I'd ask that everyone else in the pits please get on their social media and post a post about today's event. Invite your friends and family members out to the circuit. Don't forget to remind them that it's free entry and that there is commentary all day. Please invite your friends and your family out to the event via social media. The more people we can get out here, the better the event becomes. So please invite your friends and family via your social media today. I will make the request several times over the course of the day. Thank you very much. So it looks like we've got a pretty big class in the Formula 3 class today. It's good to see. So everyone's getting started off in staggered starts, and there's Dennis Charlotte from Motor Mechanics heading out there on his new Yamaha R7. Absolutely beautiful looking bike. You should check that out in the pits. Looks fantastic in the satin black. Lots of very tidy looking machines out there today. Great to see everyone's got their bikes prepared and up in excellent condition. And I expect the 300 class to be the biggest class of the day today. Always good racing in the 300 class, lots to look for, lots of races, varying degrees of skill level and time on the track. If I look at entrants like Dennis Charlotte, 41 years racing, absolute legend of the sport. Dennis has won every single class of motorcycle racing, two wheels motorcycle racing and MNZ road racing. Absolute legend. And then we look back to some of our less experienced riders. I point to Sam Eagle. Sam's from Hokitika and he's been racing 1 year and he's come on board because he's done some Ormsby road and track days and he absolutely loves it. So welcome Sam, great to see you entered and filling in the forms. Fantastic effort, mate. So there we've also got Diego Petrucci riding a Yamaha R3. Diego, one of the young up-and-comers, very promising career ahead of him in road racing. Now, Diego also teaches cornering craft. So if any road riders out here want to learn a bit better cornering craft, you should certainly go have a chat to Diego Petrucci in the pits. So keep an eye out for Diego on his Yamaha R3. So Diego is sponsored by Evolve Moto, the Workshop Christchurch Limited, iStudios and Evolve Glass. So he started racing at 16 years old on a Ninja 250, and after his first ride he was totally addicted. Now he travels all over New Zealand to compete in NZSBK. So his highlights: first overall in 150 Supersport, first overall in 300 Supersport, third overall in 150 at the NZGP, and second overall in 300 Supersport at the NZGP in 2025. Well done, Diego Petrucci, as I say, a young up-and-comer in the sport. To the riders who haven't bothered filling in your rider information, unfortunately I find it very hard to give you guys any commentary because from up here it's much easier to read out the reports than work from memory, so please try and fill in your rider information sheets. They're available on your entry form, so there's really no excuse for not filling them in. The fact that some of you say that I know you personally and have known you for 20, 30 or 40 years is beside the point. It makes it much easier if everyone's filled in the forms. So please, if you haven't filled in the form already, jump online and do it today. Thank you very much. The Formula 3 riders starting to put in some good lap times. Luke Ryder there with a 1:42.3. Ben Rosenthal with a 1:48 by the look of it. Harriet Grace with a 1:50.590. Samuel Hawkins with a 1:51.6. Jethro Bowman a 1:57.0. Lance Double a 1:59.337. Everyone's just rolling around, getting their eyes in. Ben Green with a 2:18.1. Good on you, Ben. Keep working at that, buddy. You'll get there. Dennis Charlotte, a 1:45.9. Kane Squires just popped in his best lap time with a 1:42.88. And Will Furness must have been following him around with a 1:42.89. Nothing to separate those two. Peter Fish, just to his best lap time, popped in, 1:52.338. So everyone's sort of upping the pace. They're feeling the surface grip come to them, the temperature's coming right, the tyres are coming good. But an overnight rust coming out. Lance Double just popping in his PB, 1:58.1. Levi Cleworth, a 2:11.2. So best time so far by Luke Ryder with a 1:41.419. That's fantastic from Luke. Luke's one of the young up-and-comers at MCI. So good effort from Luke Ryder there. Unfortunately, Luke hasn't filled in his rider information sheet, so I can't give any of his sponsors a shout-out. I would love to give your sponsors a shout out, so please fill in your information sheet so that we can do that. Lucas Scott, Yamaha R3. So Lucas is from Christchurch and he's put down as his sponsors me, myself and I. So there you go. If anyone's looking for someone to give a little bit of assistance to, Lucas Scott could do with a wee hand. So Jethro Bowman just pulled into the pits here. Ben Green popping in his PB 1:57. Good on you, Ben. Finn Hogg, a 2:02.659, his best time for the session. Will Furness just popping in a great lap time, a 1:41.929. Still Luke Ryder, though, with a 1:41.166 heading the field. Lucas Scott, a 1:49.837. Now, it was Lucas that we were just talking about, who is looking for sponsorship. So anyone feels like putting a sticker on his bike, slip the man a bit of petrol money and see how you go. Just watching Dennis Charlotte circulate round on that R7, heading into the dipper now. He's got absolutely fantastic style. So Luke Ryder, Dennis Charlotte, Will Furness, Ben Rosendahl, Kane Squire, Chris Huddlestone, Hunter Charlotte. There's your top bunch for this morning so far. So another rider here in Formula 3, Cameron James. His last name starts with Khan. It may have been chopped off by the system here, so I'm just going to call him Cameron. Cameron's riding a Ninja 300. He's riding in Formula 3 and 300 Supersport. Cameron's from Christchurch, and he's sponsored by Melrose Wheelchairs, Ventec, Autobend, and Pierce Motorcycles. He's been racing for 2 years, and he started riding when he was younger on little dirt bikes and did a fair bit of that. Another young fella coming up into the sport. Carlin Self on the Honda, sponsored by Stillshop Oamaru Honda. So Carlin got into the sport through Have a Go days, and then into Supersport 300. So welcome to the sport, Carlin. So there we go, that's the end of Formula 3 Pro Twins and Super Twin. Up next should be Formula 1 and Formula 2 qualifying. So not many riders to talk about in the Formula 1, Formula 2 class because very few have filled in their rider information sheets. Riders that have Warren Hudson, thank you Warren, riding on a 2008 Yamaha R1. Warren's from Christchurch, and he's sponsored by Warren's Aerials and Telephones. And Warren's been racing 40 years, so that would put him up amongst the senior statesmen of the sport, along with guys the likes of Chris Huddlestone. He's probably been somewhere in the 35 years. Dennis Charlotte, 41 years. So there's a bit of experience out there for people to draw from. Formula 2, Sam Mullen, sponsored by Moto 1 New Zealand, Rickstay Autos Blenheim. And he's been racing off and on for 3 years. Carl Waho, Suzuki GSXR 750, 2008 model, sponsored by Boiling Point Limited and RJPTV. And don't forget to mention on your Facebook post, people, that RJPTV are live streaming this event. So if you cannot make it out to the event, please watch on RJPTV. Don't forget to put out a social media post inviting all of your friends and family, even your enemies. Invite everyone. Everyone can come out and watch. It's free to watch. Everyone is welcome to come out and enjoy themselves. Invite your friends out to come out and have a look through the pits. Chat to the other racers, watch what's going on. Who knows, perhaps they might get enthused, come out to a have-a-go day, and get even more enthused and actually decide to come racing with us. So just a wee lull in proceedings while we pick up a downed rider, going down in first session of the day in practice. Hopefully he's got the parts, or he or she has the parts required to get that bike up and going again. It's always a shame to see someone go down in the practice session at the start of the day. I do realise that practice and qualifying are run together, but take it easy on the first couple of laps out there. Allow your bike to get up to optimum tyre pressures and tyre temperature. .167, that'd be Heath Boddicker on the Ducati Panigale. .86 will be Aaron Scott. So supporters of the Formula One, pit assistants and helpers, if your rider is not Heath Boddicker or Aaron Scott, I have no information on them and will not be able to call out their names. If you feel like writing down a little bit about them, their name and their bike number, bringing it up to me, I'll be able to give them a call out for the day. I'm upstairs in the commentary position, or you can see one of the officials downstairs and hand them the information. But without the information, it makes for a pretty boring day. So please fill in your rider information sheets. So on the orange bike out there, that looks like Dan Jenkins. Dan looks like he's getting his eye in nice and early. I just saw him make a little dive underneath someone into the dipper there. Challenging spot to make a pass the dipper. It's very easy to defend in there. So that Michael Lee out there on the green Kawasaki ZX6. I believe it is. So Dan Jenkins putting in the fastest lap time so far today, a 1:38.745, followed by Angus Finn, a 1:39. Riley Foster, bike number 778, doing a 1:45.4. Garth Wilson on a 1:40.7. Lance Double out there just getting the feel for a new bike. I'm wondering if Lance is out there on a Triumph 675. If he is, that's actually his son's bike that he's riding for this meeting. I think Joshua, who owns the bike, has gone to Australia. So he's left it in Dad's garage, and I suppose the use of the bike is part of the garage rental fee. Brendan Ray just popped in his best time, 1:56.2. Oh, Lance Double. There we go, 1:50.122. Starting to get your eye on there, Lance. Good work. So fastest so far is still Dan Jenkins with a 1:35.394. Still a wee bit off the pace by comparison to national championships, which we do have coming up in a few months' time. So here we go, not in this class, but thank you very much, Ryder Chamberlain, for bringing up your rider information sheet. I shall add that to the information sheets. So Ryder Chamberlain, a shout out. Ryder is age 14 and he's riding a Yamaha R15 and he's racing in the Supersport 150 class. He's based in Christchurch and he's racing the King of Canterbury Full Series and the Southern Race Series. He's sponsored by Chamberlain Suspension and Dad's bank account. Good on you, Dad. That's awesome. He's been racing dirt bikes since he was 5, but he switched to road racing at 11. So he got started by Dad helping him into motorbikes when he got him a wee KTM 50, and he hasn't looked back since. He's been riding ever since. His major riding achievements was 5th overall for the 150 Supersport in New Zealand Superbike, and 3rd overall, a podium finish at Hampton Downs NZSBK. That's an awesome achievement, Ryder. Well done. You are the future of road racing in New Zealand. Thank you very much for filling in your form. To the other riders who haven't bothered, please fill in your form to assist in giving you a shout out. Might assist your sponsors or your supporters. Even if you just put the family member or the friend who helps you in the pits or helps you prepare your bike at home, they are your sponsor, they are your supporter. Please put their name down so that I can give them a shout out, make them feel good for the work they've put in to assist you with your racing. Thank you. So Heath Bodiger putting in a good time, 1:36.590. Garth Wilson sitting in 3rd place, Angus Finn in 4th, Michael Lee in 5th, and John Lowther in 6th. So there's your first couple of rows of the grid so far. Dan Jenkins at 1:35.094, the current top lap time. Brendan Ray just popping in his PB, 154. Oh, Dan Jenkins, a 134.838. So that really pushes the boundaries out. Heath Boddicker in second, 136.850. Garth Wilson's in the pits, 138.358 was his best. Angus Finn, a 138.741. Michael Lee with a 139. Riley Foster just popping in his best lap time, a 143.0. So current standings, Dan Jenkins, Heath Boddicker, Garth Wilson, Angus Finn. There's your first 4 positions on the grid. So that's the end of that session. Up next we will have 300 Supersport. 300 Supersport qualifying and practice up next. Remember to take the time to jump onto your social media, invite your friends, families and enemies out to the track to watch. Remember, everyone is welcome at the circuit. It is free entry. Please remember to post that it is free entry and there is commentary during the day. Food available in the pits, free entry to the pits. Please get on your social media and post away freely. Remember, the more we post, the more chance we have of the algorithm picking us up and putting us out into the mainstream. Let's make motorcycle racing mainstream in New Zealand. Remember to announce that RJPTV is live streaming. So there is live streaming all day for those who cannot make it to the track. So we're just getting a pickup done around the back of the circuit there. Won't be too long before we're up and running again with 300 Supersport. So 300 Supersport. Harriet Grace. Harriet's riding a Yamaha R3 and she's from Christchurch. Her personal sponsors are Ethos Homes and Casbolt Motorcycles. Harriet's in her second year at university. In her second year at university, she converted her road-going R3 to a race bike after attending some have-a-go days. She got the racing bug and slowly chipping away at lap times and understanding how to race. She joined the Helicraft racing team at the start of 2025 and competed in her first full national season, finishing 11th overall. That's a great effort in Supersport 300 in your first year of competition. Her highlights were third in Formula 4, 23 Southern Classic at the 20 Grand Prix on debut for Helicraft Racing. Congratulations, Helicraft Racing, for picking up Harriet Grace, a great ambassador for your company. Chris Reynolds, Yamaha R3, riding in 300 Supersport. Chris has no sponsors. He's been riding for 2 years and he blames his parents for getting him into racing. So I hope that since it's his parents' fault, they're helping fund a little bit of it. His highlights in his racing career so far have been competing in the Nationals. So please keep an eye out for Chris Reynolds out there. Yamaha R3. It's great to see the junior classes with their bike preparation. All the bikes are looking absolutely fantastic. Looks like Angela Charlotte there on bike number 73, the Moto Mechanics supported bike. All the Moto Mechanics bikes always in very, very good mechanical condition. Charlie Newham, also on a R3. His major sponsor is his mum for moral support. Thank you, Mum. He's been racing for 1 year and he brought a road going R3 and took it to the track and then decided he needed to go racing. Look at that. Another rider information sheet. Thank you, Jack Nimmo, age 15. So Jack's riding a Yamaha R15 in the 150 Supersport class, and Jack's come all the way from Cromwell, riding in the King of Canterbury and the Southern Race Series. Jack's team sponsors are Central RV and Boat Repairs Cromwell, Devrotech and Race Supplies, and he's been racing for 3 seasons. Got started through Doug Ryder, his stepdad from New Zealand Competent Tech, and Rod Price from Helicraft Wanaka. Also Seth Devereaux from Devrotech for introducing him into road racing on a KO 150 Mini GP. He was hooked from then on, and I'm sorry, Doug, but your wallet's going to take a beating over the next 15 years. Major riding achievements. Just getting started, so getting out here is a major achievement. Congratulations, Jack Nimmo. Welcome to road racing. And then we go to the 300 Supersport class, making its way out onto the circuit. Big field of bikes in this class. Hunter Charlotte, name to watch out for. Hunter's been competing in the Australian series and I believe in the OJC. For a young man, he's got a lot of international racing under his belt, so he will be one to watch, and I would expect him to be setting the pace in the class today, although he won't have it all to his own way. Diego Petrucci, I'm sure, will be looking to take it to him along with Will Furness. There we have Carlin South out there on bike number 34 from Oamaru Honda. Congratulations, Carlin. Welcome to road racing. Anson Huang. Anson's been doing a few have-a-go days. Decided that perhaps it's time to park his road bike and come out and get a little bit serious on a 300 Supersport. Good on you, Anson. It's great to see you out here, mate, making the transition from road to road race. Congratulations. So lap time starting to roll around. Hunter Charlotte 1:48.4, as I suspected, leading the field. Harriet Grace 1:51.2. Good on you, Harriet. That's a good effort on your first round out. Let's see after we get a couple of laps under their belts how the times fall away. So far, Hunter Charlotte, Harriet Grace, Oliver Wright, Diogo Petrucci, Garth Wilson and Will Furness would be your top 6. I expect the times to drop and it to mix up around as we go through the morning. A good wee gaggle of bikes going into the hairpin there. The Euromark hairpin. So good place for braking duels, great place to watch. Another place I really like watching from is the Link Kink over in the far corner. That would be turn 3. Link Kink, spectacular place to watch from. Get to see the bikes drop away into the little hollow there, and then the super bikes watch them wheel standing out at around the 200 metre board mark. Still the wheel in the air as they're ripping down the straight towards the braking marker. Absolutely fantastic to watch. So times are starting to fall away now. Hunter Charlotte a 1:43.5, Will Furness a 1:45, Diogo Petrucci 1:45, Oliver Wright 1:46, Harriet Grace 1:46. So we're starting to see the times fall away as the temperature in the tyres come up and people get a bit more confident in their setup. Good to see everyone taking it easy for the first couple of laps, getting their eye in and getting their bike up to temperature. So Hunter Charlotte 1:43.5, Will Furness 1:45.2, Diogo Petrucci 1:45.8, Oliver Wright 1:46.4, Harriet Grace 1:46.4. Heaps and heaps of PBs coming in and around the 151 to 153 mark. Ollie Ward, Charlie Newham, Rain William, Gary. Crikey, it just flicks over too fast for me to read all the names. Al McMaster and Corey Hagenars. So no change in the top 6. Anson Huang just putting in his best lap time with a 150.8. That's a great effort. Gary Graham, his PB just coming in, 153.495. Great work, just keep it up. Cappy Colworth as well. Levi Colworth at 2:07. Levi's times are improving as he gets more confident in the circuit. Sean Thomas, good to see you out there, Sean. Sean or Sean, someone please correct me on that. Good to see you out there. Looks like a first session for Sean. Sean. Maya Wilcox, a 151. Finn Hoggs popped into the pits. Must be something going on there with Finn. So Maya Wilcox, Yamaha MT-03 riding in Supersport 300. Supported by Helicraft Racing, Bartercard, White's Power Sport, Joe's Garage and Night and Day. Started off riding dirt bikes when 11 years old. Welcome to Road Racing, Maya. Again, congratulations to Helicraft Racing for picking up another junior rider and introducing them to the sport. Well done, Rod Price. So best lap time of the day so far in this class is Hunter Charlotte, a 1:42.471. It's extremely fast lap time for a small bike around here. Jethro Bowman popping in a 1:45.557 to take second place on the grid, and nudging Will Furness back to third. Sean Thomas just putting in best lap time of 2:21. Congratulations. Just keep working away, mate. You'll get there. It's good to see new blood coming into the sport. Please encourage Sean and give assistance where you can. So that's bike number 56, Sean Thomas. If you see him in the pits, welcome him in. Oh, and we have a faller down in the dipper. Can we have some yellow flags out at the dipper, please? Yellow flags out at the dipper, please. Thank you. So that's the session, looks like coming to a close. Probably not bad timing with that bike sitting up on the outside of the dipper there. So that'll slow everyone's attempt at a fast lap time down. So far the best time in this class, Hunter Charlotte, 1:42.471. We'll see as the screen rolls over. We'll pick up the rest of the times. So Hunter Charlotte, 1:42. Jethro Bowman, a 1:44.7. Will Furness, a 1:45. Ollie Ryder, 1:45. Diogo Petrucci also a 1:45. Jacob Joshua 1:45 as well. Harriet Grace on a 1:46. We've got lots and lots of people in that 1:45 bracket. That's going to make some very close racing for second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth position in this class. I'd imagine there'll be some fairly close racing and elbows out dicing in the 300 Supersport as always. And of course in 300 Supersport we have two classes. We have Supersport A and Supersport B. So we have 20 competitors in Supersport A and 22 competitors in Supersport B. They race on the track together. They are scored separately. So we've just got the pickup vehicle going out. And that may in fact be is that Hunter Charlotte? I think that's Hunter Charlotte down in the hairpin. Unusual to see the young man pitch it away in a practice session, but he was pushing very, very hard. Qualifying time was exceptional. So I suppose when you're pushing on, looking for your best times, mistakes will happen. So I'm pretty sure that was Hunter Charlotte. So up next we will have 250 production and 150 super sport. So riders in 250 production, Ben Gailey. Ben's riding a Ninja 250 in 250 production. He started in the University Canterbury motorsport team. Paul Robson. Paul's riding a blue and green Ninja 250. He's from Oxford and he's supported by Lay Civil. Carl Wahoo also on a Kawasaki Ninja 250, sponsored by Boiling Point Limited and RJP TV. Remember, we are live streaming today on RJP TV. Please jump on. Please share the acknowledgement on Facebook as well. Please share a link on Facebook to RJP TV. Also jump on Facebook, invite your friends, families, associates and everyone you know out to Euromark Motorsport Park. Invite them along, come and watch some fantastic motorcycle racing, beautiful weather, free entry to the pits and live commentary, live streaming all day. Don't forget to get on your social media and send out a post. Reasonable number of riders in 250 production. If you are assisting or supporting a rider in 250 production who has not filled in their rider information sheet, please encourage them to do so. That will get them a shout out as well as their supporters, their sponsors, and perhaps even yourself. So please encourage your rider to fill out their rider information sheet. Bike number 52, Ryder Chamberlain heading out. Now Ryder is one of the people who's filled in the information sheet, so here we go. We shout out to Ryder. So Ryder Chamberlain, age 14, based in Christchurch. And his sponsors are Chamberlain Suspension and his dad's bank account. Thank you, Chamberlain Suspension and dad's bank account for sponsoring Ryder. Also Jack Nimmo. Jack hailing from Cromwell, supported by Helicraft Racing, Central RV, Boat Repairs Cromwell, Devrotech and Race Supplies. Ben Geely, Kawasaki Ninja 250. Paul Robson on the blue and green Ninja 250 from Oxford, supported by Lay Civil. And that's all the riders from this class who have filled in their rider information sheet. So as we roll out for our first round of lap times, Jack Cotton on a 2:11.8, Ryder Chamberlain a 2:11.2, Jack Nimmo on a 2:20. So it was our first three riders across the line. So that sort of sets the scene. Let's see how everyone else rolls on. Jack Clapham a 2:14, Josh Sokolov a 2:16, Kira Custer 2:20. Carl Waho putting in a 2:27. Deegan Crozy a 2:28. Dave Phillips a 2:20. Eric Ludnick, or Ludick, sorry, Eric. Tarek Dean a 2:24. Sam Fraser a 2:29. So far, Jack Cotton and Ryder Chamberlain setting the pace. A 2:11.2 from Ryder and a 2:11.8 from Jack. Not much to separate those two. In fact, on the track, it looks like they might even be circulating together, which could explain the similar lap times. So we're a couple of laps into it now. We're starting to see the lap times come away. Dan Jenkins a 1:55, Jack Cotton a 1:58, Ryder Chamberlain a 1:59, Josh Sokolov a 2:02. Alex McElwain jumping to the front with 1:54.777. Dan Jenkins a 1:55.272. Jack Cotton a 1:58.7. So the best time today so far in this class by Alex McElwain on a 1:54.777. Dan Jenkins 1:55.272. Dennis Charlotte just popping in his best time for the day, a 1:58.466, pipping Jack Cotton with a 1:58.7 for third place. And PB's coming in all over the show now. Jack Nimmo with a 2:10, Carl Waho a 2:09, Phil Main with a 2:12. Dennis Charlotte, though, with a 1:58.466 into third place. Alex McElwain a 1:54.777, still leading the field with Dan Jenkins a 1:55.4 as well. Big groups in that 2:12, 2:13, 2:14. I expect to see some serious dicing in that mid-pack group as well. So there's little pockets of groups doing very, very similar lap times. That'll make for some very interesting racing as the day goes on. Carl Waho down to a 2:09. So Alex McElwain, Dan Jenkins, Dennis Charlotte, Jack Cotton, Ryder Chamberlain, Nick Clark, Dave Phillips, Josh Sokolov are your top 8, followed by Jack Clapham in 9th. So bike number 76, Carl Waho. Oh, and there's Dan Jenkins, bike number 16, just pulling out another PB, 1:53.334. Followed by Alex McElwain, a 1:54.34, also popping in his best lap time. So Dan Jenkins, bike 16, Alex McElwain, bike 17, Dennis Charlotte, bike 15. So bike 15, 16 and 17, 1, 2 and 3 in no particular order. Sam Fraser out there. Bike number 18, good on you, Sam, a 2:13. Lots of bikes in that 2:12, 2:13 bracket, so you'll have plenty of people to dice with. Plenty going on in the 2:02, 2:03, 2:04 as well. So that would cover from positions 8th through to 12th. So there'll be some good dicing in that mid-pack, 8th through to 12th. Keep an eye on that zone. Dan Jenkins still leading the way, a 1:53.3. Alex McElwain, a 1:54.3. Dennis Charlotte, a 1:55.6. Hunter Charlotte popping into position 4 with a 1:55.8. Fantastic lap time at the front by Dan Jenkins, though. A full second ahead of Alex McElwain. 2 seconds on Dennis Charlotte and 5 seconds on Hunter Charlotte. Carl Waho putting in a good time, a 2:05. Excellent work. Well done, Carl. Oh, Dan Jenkins stretching it again, a 1:52.987. That is awesome work by Dan Jenkins. Back into pole position. So 1:52.9 for Dan. Alex a 1:54.3. Dennis Charlotte a 1:55.6. Nick Clark a 1:56. So Nick Clark up into fourth position. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, if I do not have your rider information sheet, I cannot give a call out to your supporters or sponsors. I would love to be calling out a sponsor or a supporter for every rider. Please bring up your rider information sheet or fill them in online. Thank you. Dennis Charlotte popping in a PB, a 1:55.442. Nick Clark 1:56.440. Jack Cotton 1:56. Hunter Charlotte 1:56. Fantastic day for road racing here today, everyone. Very, very light wind coming from a nor'east, so what wind there is just gently pushing down the straight. So Dan Jenkins pushing on even more. So at the end of the session, so far the best time by Dan Jenkins, a 1:52.987. Alex McElwain, a 1:53.897. Dennis Charlotte, 1:55.44. Jack Cotton, a 1:55.8. Nick Clark, a 1:58.3. So Dan Jenkins certainly setting the pace today. 0.9 of a second ahead of his nearest competitor. Dan will be tough to beat. There'll be great dicing from second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. I can envisage a nice little battle forming there, along with another battle from 7th through to 12th. A 5 or 6 rider battle in a secondary group behind them. Great to see everyone making it through that session. And up next we will have the Have a Go Day class. So the Have a Go Day class is for riders who do not wish to compete. They wish to come out and try and do some good lap times, enjoy the circuit, get a chance to see and feel what their favourite riders are experiencing out on the track, with the safety of no flag start and no race finish. No points allocated. It is purely for riding pleasure. It is for road bikes and entry-level races only. There is a time cut-off. You cannot exceed a 2-minute lap time. That is for the safety of other riders in the group. There's also some passing restrictions, just again to make it safer for the group. So up next we have a Have a Go Day class. A fun class, something that you can bring your road bike along to and enjoy the day. Who knows, perhaps I might even drag my own bike out for the next Have a Go Day. Remains to be seen. Maybe not. Getting the stern look from the wife. So just got a wee pickup happening Bike's already loaded on the trailer, will only be a couple of minutes. Oh, the wife just made me an exceptional offer. Apparently I am allowed to have a go. Outstanding. I wonder if my leathers have shrunk hanging on the wall. Couple of interesting bikes there lining up, about as far apart as we can get in terms of specification. Looks like a early CBR 600 sitting next to a Ducati Panigale. I've got to say that Rothman's coloured CBR 600 F2 looks especially nice. Always been a fan of the Rothman's colours, despite the negative connotations of cigarette smoking these days. Back in the old days, it was the go. So here we go with our Have a Go Day riders out there. I'm not going to call out the lap times because I don't believe that it's relevant to the Have a Go Day class. I think these riders deserve the courtesy of just being allowed to enjoy their circulation without the pressure of trying to achieve a stated lap time. So it's nice to see everyone out there. Just getting out there and having a go and enjoying the circuit. So again, I'll reiterate, this class is for road bikes or entry-level riders coming into the class who are not yet ready to have a go at formula level racing. This gives them an opportunity to get out on the track, do some laps, learn the circuit, learn the lines, learn the braking points. Enjoy the feeling of being out on the circuit without the need to hit a particular lap time. And in fact, we cut the lap time off. No one in this class may exceed a 2-minute lap time. Anyone who exceeds a 2-minute lap time will be asked to either slow it down or join their formula class. So it's a real incentive for people to just be out there rolling around and enjoying themselves with no pressure and no expectation of setting a lap time. And in fact, as we watch the Ducati Panigale and the CBR 600 roll around together, looks like a couple of friends out there having a good time. We have another Panigale just rolling out onto the circuit. And charcoal grey looks absolutely brilliant. Something a bit different from the standard Ducati red that we're all very familiar with. Notice a large super motard bike out there. We make no restrictions, particularly on the type of bike that can enter this class. I believe it must be above, or is supposed to be above 400 cc's. And I think that's just around, again, just around keeping the speeds safer, the speed differentials safer. The end of the straight, the speed differential between a 150 and a Panigale 1200 would be enormous. The requirements to enter the Have a Go Day class. You do not need full leathers, but if you are wearing a two-piece suit, they must be zipped together. Must wear sturdy motorcycle boots that cover the ankle. Steel caps are not allowed. Gumboots are not allowed. Leather gloves, a back protector, a chest protector, which is now mandatory, and a quality helmet that is less than 10 years old and in good condition. That is the requirements for your gear. If you want to come to a Have a Go day, but do not have a two-piece leather suit and generally ride in Cordura, you may contact Wendy at MCI, and Wendy can arrange for you to hire a set of leathers, assuming we have a set that will fit your particular body shape. There are several sets available for hire from the club at a very, very low cost. We can also hire boots, and there might even be the occasional pair of gloves there. We do not hire out helmets. You must provide your own helmet. Also, for those wishing to enter in the 300 class or 250 Super Sport class, there is some club bikes available for hire at a very reasonable cost. Again, you can contact Wendy through MCI to arrange for the hire of those bikes. So shout out to the coffee guy in the pits. Don't forget to support the coffee guy. Fantastic coffee. Just sitting here enjoying my latte. It looks like one of the Have a Go riders is pushing on the pace a bit, just pushing down to a 2-minute 2. We're going to say that anyone in the Have a Go class who pops under 2 minutes, they're riding extremely fast for a road rider. Anything under 2 minutes is an exceptionally fast lap time around here for someone on their road bike on road tyres. We do not encourage lap times under 2 minutes for Have a Go class riders. So thank you, Will Furness, for bringing up your rider information sheet. Will is riding an Aprilia 660 and a KTM 390, and he's riding in the 300 Supersport and Formula 3 classes. So Will's based in Nelson. His team sponsor is Nelson Motorcycles, and he's been racing for 4 to 5 years. He's doing the full series of King of Canterbury. So he had a go in his 20s, but didn't really stick at it. He raced dirt bike for 25 years and then thought road racing looks pretty much less dusty and dirty. He's come back to the fold and he's absolutely loving it. So fun fact about Will Furness, Will owns Nelson Motorcycles in Nelson. So there are Suzuki, KTM and Royal Enfield and one other brand. It'll come to me. Never mind. So good bikes at Nelson Motorcycles. CF Moto. CF Moto, KTM, Royal Enfield and Suzuki at Nelson Motorcycles. Thank you, Will Furness. So up next we'll have the training class. So training class is for juniors and riders with absolutely no experience. So training class is a very, very good way to get into things. Gives you the opportunity to go racing or go riding on the circuit, no pressure, and good training. Learn the lines from people who know their way around. Good to see the senior riders supporting the training class and coming out to assist. Thank you very much to those senior riders. So out there at the moment we have the training class. So this is a class for young riders or very inexperienced racers who have never been on the track before. This is their opportunity to get out and have a look around the circuit, do a couple of laps and get some training from experienced racers. You'll see the riders in fluoro jackets as well as riders without them. Fluoro jackets usually denote a trainer